Space Hopper, one of the most popular P1 brews on the Pinter range, and she's ready to be undocked, ready for conditioning. Now stay to the end because I have sellotaped a coffee filter to a measuring jug, and we will be trying to taste some of the brew juice, or the dock juice, which is what I like to call it. So before we jump into the kitchen, let me just explain what's happened. 12 days on brew. I was going to do 11, but I extended to 12, and it hasn't been the most straightforward brew in the world. So 5 days on carb setting 1, all good. Then Pinter released the details to say that we should be turning all of the carbs to 0 off, basically. So after 5 days, I turned it to off. Loads of pressure released, loads of bubbling out the top. Probably not the best idea, but just following the Pinter guidelines, I guess. And then after a couple of days on off, seeing various things on Facebook and a number of the groups, I decided to increase the carb dial to around 0.6. Basically, I just turned it until I felt pressure. And that meant that it was keeping some of the pressure in there, but it wasn't on carb setting 1 or 2, where the PSI can get to 30, 40 PSI, which is way too high, right? So as I said, 12 days in total, 5 days on 1, 2 days off completely, and then I left her on 0.6 for another 4 days or so. And I found that it was still bubbling, like you could hear it fermenting. So I left it for an extra day. So 12 days in total. Then I've been cold crashing for 2 days. After I undock Red, I'll put her in the fridge and she'll be conditioning for another 5 days, 6 days. And then we'll see how she tastes. So yeah, I think that's everything. Let's jump over to the kitchen and we'll get her undocked and hopefully try some of the brew juice. Before we get cracking, if you do like the content here at Action Frank, then please smash that like button because it really means a lot. Okay, let's go. So, turn and then lift. Could have been easier. Looking okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whew. Now, see there's some yeast in there. Let's just try pouring some of this out. Not done this before, so we'll see how we go. Okay, cool. So we'll let that filter through. And you can see, because this has been cold crashing, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that inside there, all the yeast has kind of built up and kind of got cold. So let's just clean her through. And when you are cold crashing, you really want to cold crash as cold as possible. So I think the bottom of my fridge, I've got a firm thermometer on it, and it's around 2 degrees. And that's where you kind of want to be when you're cold crashing, just to make sure that all of the yeast drops to the bottom, and you should hopefully get a nice clear brew at the end of it. Red is going to go into conditioning now, so she's in the fridge and she's going to be in there for 5 days or so. But before we wait to try that, this is what we've got left. Now, the only time I've done this before is on the public house, and that actually turned out quite well. Looking at the colour of that, this looks like it could be a bit pokey. And it might even make me ill, but I don't know. It's all a bit of fun, isn't it? So, Space Hopper hasn't been conditioned, obviously, straight from the dock. Citrus and hoppy, 7%. So we go. So, yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest. You do get the citrus. It does taste really quite pokey. But yeah, you get the citrus. You don't get kind of any twang off it. It's just, yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, it's, you know, very flat. It's quite sweet. You do get the citrus. You kind of do get a bit of a dry kind of aftertaste, almost like, I don't know, almost like a cider, I guess. Yeah. Not sure, but obviously it's early days. So yeah, Space Hopper, ready to be conditioned for a few days. If you want to see the Space Hopper playlist, I'll put it up there like always. And if you want to see what is next from Action Frank, I'll put it up there. Cool. Cheers. Thanks for watching.